I'm here with Maryland quarterback Cameron Edge. Cameron, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. I'm just going to ask you some basic questions about your career, football and everything on and off the field. Just curious about you overall, and I'm sure a lot of other Maryland fans are. But I just want to start with, I want to take it back a little bit. What's the story behind football for you? Did you always play quarterback? Because I know some quarterbacks didn't always play quarterback, but was it always quarterback for you?
It actually wasn't. My first year of football, I grew up being a baseball and basketball guy. And then all my friends went out for football around like 6, and I went out at 7, and I played receiver and defensive end. And funny enough, I quit football. So being a basketball kid, not as physical of a sport. And first time I put a helmet on, it was way too tight. Getting hit was weird, and I quit. And I actually, one of my best friends to this day, played high school football with, was a receiver for me. I gave my helmet to his dad, who coached us, and he told me I'd be back. And I ended up coming back and just played DN the rest of the year. And then something hit me in that off season, like I wanted to play quarterback, and just kind of started throwing it with dad and working with my quarterback coach, who I'm still with. And here we are, still playing quarterback, thankfully.
Was there like a coach, a quarterback coach that kind of like brought you to another level where you were like, oh, like I can be good at this. Like he's really helping me out.
Absolutely. I've had the same quarterback coach since then, coach at 7 years old, Coach Damon Daniels. He trained a lot of NFL guys, not just at quarterback, but quarterback as well. And he's not even just a quarterback coach to me at this point. He's a mentor in my life. He's part of my family. You know what I mean? His sons are like the little brothers I never had. You know what I mean? Just an amazing person. Not just on the phone with him before this, actually. You know what I mean? Just someone I talk through every situation, every decision I make in life. He talks me through everything. And always tells me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. And
Right.
those are the kind of people you want in your life.
Right. Is there any other mentor that has really helped you along the way?
There's been a lot. I've been very thankful. Having my time at the Matha, Coach McGregor was one of them. Was an absolutely great person. There's not too many people on this earth that are better than him. A lot of really every coach I had at the Matha was amazing. Superman. I talked to a good amount of them to this day. Coaches back home in Smyrna as well. Coach Judy, Coach Marks. They're amazing to me. And then like I said, being in sports your whole life, there's so many coaches to name. I back to AAU basketball coaches who gave me a lot of life lessons in baseball as well. So
Right.
just most of my mentors have been coaches. You know what I mean? I can't, I'm extremely thankful for them, and I wouldn't be here without them at all.
Right, right. I want to take it to Maryland now. I want to know about how it is like inside the film room and the quarterback room because I know it's a little bit different than all the other position groups. How you guys watch film, how that overall process works, what kind of comments does the offensive staff have, and what does Coach Loxley usually say, and how you guys prepare for opponents.
Well, it just kind of goes into and during our week, we always, I mean, we always kind of digest the week before. I mean, put it in the past, take as what Coach Locks loves to say, the good, bad, and the ugly. Every game has it, win, loss, or draw, good, bad, and ugly. Put it behind us and see what we can improve on. And then we just kind of, right after that meeting's over, we dive right into the next team and just kind of see what their strengths are. I mean, there's a lot of really good defenses in the Big Ten, so you just kind of got to see what do they like to do, what's their personality, and kind of see like how that fits with us and what we do. And as we like to say, it's about us. I mean, like we got to be. It's not about what the other team does as much about how good we do what we do. And as long as like we do that, we always end up having good weeks of practice, and we break our practice from Monday all the way to Thursday. We certain days we work on third down, some days are early down and distance stuff, and I think our coaches just do a really really good job of game planning, and it's shown this year, and it's also with the success we've had at quarterback in the past 2 or 3 years as well.
Yeah, for sure. I want to know a little bit more about that quarterback room and the relationship with guys like, of course, Talia is gone now, but still like Talia and Billy Edwards and even MJ Morris that's there now. I want to know about like the relationship that's in the quarterback room.
Absolutely. So we've always had a really, really close room, even since when I first got here with David Faust and Eric Najarian. I mean, those are just great guys, I mean, to be around. Then Talia is someone I look at as like a bigger brother. Before the bowl game, he texts me. Someone who's always had confidence in me. And, I mean, we all go through the ups and downs. I mean, when it's a bad day for the offense. You know what I mean? Of course, the starting quarterback takes a lot of the blame, but it's not a good feeling for anybody. You know what I mean? So we all kind of go through it together, and I give a lot of credit for Talia. I wouldn't be where I'm at in my growth here in the program if it wasn't for watching Talia. You know what I mean? I wish him the best of everything he's done and his future as well. A lot of the good things coming for him. Billy's the same way, you know what I mean? Getting to watch Talia, we bounce ideas off of each other. There's times where we're both running with the same group and stuff that we talk about a lot of those same things. With MJ, you know what I mean? He hasn't been around as much, so excited to build that relationship and kind of see what he brings to the table. I've heard he's super talented, so really excited to see what that beholds.
Right, right. Talk more about Talia. Is there anything specific that you would say that was like one big takeaway of how he prepares or how he plays or what he does on the field that you took away from him?
Yeah, but I'd say the one thing I think it's very similar. I think that's why I could kind of connect with him is he just takes everything hard, and sometimes it's not always a good thing, but he's a perfectionist. You know what I mean? And like when a ball even on routes on air is not hitting the guy right in his nose, it's like he's hard on himself. And I'm the same way. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like our relationship as well, because even we're gonna make mistakes. You know what I mean? I feel like our whole quarterback room since I got here was always there for each other, and we trust each other's judgment with the game to say, okay, this is what I saw when we come off the sideline, and I think that's the biggest thing. And so we connected really well with that, and just kind of how we saw the game from an X and O standpoint. There's a lot of times we sat and talked about offensive football, and we always seemed like we were on the same page about things.
Right, right. How is it throwing to, I think, one of the best wide receiver rooms in the Big Ten in practice and stuff? How is it throwing to Ty Felton? I mean, Jay Sean Jones is going to be gone now, but Caden Prather, and the list kind of goes down. I like to always say that it's one of the better groups in the Big Ten.
Absolutely. And the best thing about those guys is not how good they are at football, it's just how good of people they are. You know what I mean? I guess starting with Jones, you know what I mean? Like it's weird not like the fact that Jay Sean Jones is not going to be playing in a Maryland
Right.
football jersey next year. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna miss him a lot because I used to joke with him all the time. I watched Jay Sean Jones play at Maryland in seventh grade and then got to play with him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and then people don't also know I stayed every day after practice and threw the ball, and Jay Sean would stay with me and throw the ball ever since last year. You
Right.
know what I mean? So someone I consider a big brother. And he said him and Talia is not a word or a phrase I throw out a whole lot. That's a thing that means a lot of respect. You know what I mean? And then with Caden Prather and Ty Felton, just they're super friendly to the ball. Even your Octavian Smiths and other
Right.
young receivers in the program, they're very, very good. They take coaching very well and just they're dedicated to their crafts. You know what I mean? They've both put their time in. Said Prather came here from Maryland, knew him from his time at DeMatha as well. And Ty Felton is someone you saw every year he gets better. You know what I mean? He works very, very hard in the off season. And it's just fun to be around those guys. And I'm really excited to work with them in the off season as well.
Right, right. I want to talk a little bit about the Music City Bowl, one of the first games that you've played in and had meaningful stats. And overall, how did it feel just being out there?
It was amazing. It said, I think people didn't know I was a little bit sick from the whole trip.
Okay.
So it took away from it a little bit, but to be quite honest with you, it was surreal. And I always said the two best things about it weren't that I got to show who I was or do something good. You know what I mean? The two best parts of it to me were my family from Delaware, my mom, dad, sister, and girlfriend drove from Delaware all the way to Nashville to watch me play.
Wow. Okay.
And the second part was, and this is really the most important part, was after doing that and scoring a touchdown, all the guys on the team's reaction to me doing well and getting my first kind of live action bullets. You know what I mean? All their reaction because they see me put the time in and work for the opportunity, and just to see all them excited for me. I don't think those guys understand how much that meant to me. That's something I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
Right, right. Do you have anyone on the team that you would say is that you're closest to? Like anyone that you would say is like your number one go-to guy when things aren't going well or whatever, someone that you need to talk to or something, or is it just a collection of guys?
I would probably say last year it was probably Jones because a lot of times I just remember we were the last two walking off the field and just talking about a lot of things. There's a lot of guys I am close with on the team, like even Eli Mason. You know what I mean? We came in here together and stuff like that. Perry Fisher, who said a lot of guys we saw in that game were our class of 2022. You know what I mean? They've been putting their work in and stuff like that. So really close to a lot of guys, but a guy I just feel like I was always talking to about things when up or down was always Jay Sean Jones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And I want to talk about a little bit more about the Music City Bowl. How did it feel after you completed that 57-yard pass to Caden Prather? I thought it was like one of the most pretty passes I've seen on the season, that bomb that you had to Caden Prather. How'd that feel?
It was kind of a relief. You know what I mean? I kind of felt like I'm someone that holds myself to a very, very high standard. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like when I kind of saw it in the air and he had said the credit goes to him because he ran a perfect route, and just saw him lean on that post. I was just kind of like, I could kind of feel some weight get off my shoulders a little bit and just kind of breathe. And it's just also, it was like a satisfaction because we ran that play all the time in practice. It just shows the preparation. If you ask anybody, we ran that play a lot in practice in multiple different ways. And it just shows that preparation pays off at the end of the day. No matter, you never know when that time comes, but if you prepare the right way, good things are going to come.
Right. My last question is, I saw in your bio on the Maryland website that you're a big Tom Brady guy. What's kind of the story behind that, and how did you go into liking Tom Brady? And is there any other quarterback you like today?
He said Brady's just a guy I say is like, if you had to teach a kid from scratch how to play quarterback, Tom Brady, Drew Brees are kind of the guys I would say you watch. You know what I mean? Because I think Tom Brady would be the first to tell you he's not the most physically gifted, but he's a winner. He's technically sound in mechanics. And if you ask anyone that's been around Tom Brady, he just does the easy things right every time. Like when there's that hitch route that no one wants to take, he takes it when it's there every time. And that's hard as a quarterback. Sometimes it's for anybody. You know, people get greedy with anything, but he just does the right thing more than anybody so consistently. And I think that's something you should watch and learn from a quarterback. Other quarterbacks I like, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm a Cowboy fan. You know,
you're a Cowboys fan?
It's a rough day. It's rough days, but I'm a Dak guy.
Okay.
I'm always a Dak guy. Always riding with Dak, so always.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Cam, for joining us.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
Yeah.